Hello, brothers and sisters. I'm like, and welcome to my basement common sense. I try to keep it down and nitty gritty here to 10 minutes. If it goes over 10 minutes, it's some very important, not important. The liberals, libertarians, people who believe in God, people like to smoke, people like to drink, people like ayahuasca, people like DMT and weed and marijuana. It's like 80% of you masters of ass. Let's get out of here. Skedaddle. I'm only interested in the few elite. My videos are not pertaining to the masters of ass simply because you have low attention spans and you don't ask enough questions, yada yada yada, whatever. Okay. But of course, since my channel is pretty eccentric and unique from the rest, I found a niche in the system, on the YouTube, and so I'm just gonna keep it like that. I'm just gonna be like, okay, my channel is not popular, and that's good. I don't mind. It's just that I do get strikes, okay, because of, they say it's hate speech when I'm just speaking my own mind and my own opinion. So y'all all are in danger. It's not just me, okay? So whatever happens to me is going to happen to everybody. Okay, so just talking about topics of my life and my opinions and my experiences can get you a strike for hate speech. That's just how it is, okay? Because I listen to myself talk. Yes, I do. I love the way I speak. I'm not arrogant or anything. I'm not narcissistic at all. But this video is going to be pertaining to reading is fundamental. Fun is fun to mental. Okay, fun to mental. Okay, this is very important because my background of why I'm all those things that I listed below is because of reading. Just by reading and trying to get the essence of my surroundings when I was younger. When I was younger, I was always in the library because I didn't have before video games. I was in the library. I seen books in my home, and of course, we didn't really have much. We didn't even watch TV that much. But when we did, we got distracted. But of course, before books, I was in school and stuff. We didn't have anything. So it started off like this. I was in the library before I started playing video games and stuff like that. And so by me reading as much as I could, I was fascinated by the complex words. I remember when I was in elementary school, in kindergarten, and the teacher told me how gifted I was because I used to make, when I was younger, when I was in like kindergarten all the way up to like 5th grade, I was just an A student. But of course, you should already know that I'm schizoaffective until the voices started interfering with my concentration. I didn't really eat nutritious meals, okay, because of welfare, okay. We all was on welfare. You know how it was in Brooklyn. But before video games, I was very much into reading everything, okay. And we didn't have video games back then in those days. Because I remember the first video game I played was the Vertrex. Okay, the Vertrex box. Okay, that thing right now is about $1,300. Go search for it. VECTREX. Vertrex box. That black box, that was the first video game before Nintendo ever came out. Yes, I'm old. I'll be 47 this year, this December 3rd, 2021. Okay, I'll be 47. I feel like I'm 19. Reading has caused me to be more smarter than most of the kids that I was, being around. I remember being in kindergarten. I didn't forget, and I was looking at a word on the wall, and the word was construction. And I said, "What is that long word, construction?" I told my teacher, and she said, "That's very interesting that you asked." She said, "That makes you smarter than the rest of the class." No child has ever asked me that question. So if you want to understand, she said, keep learning the bigger words. That will make you different from the rest, smarter than the rest. She's the only one that actually complimented me. He said, if you learn the bigger words, you will become very smart. But it will cause problems. The more smarter you become, the more problems you may occur. That happens in every day of life. And I asked her, what does the word construction mean? It says it only means to build. Okay, it only means to build. But the more words you do know in your vocabulary, the more likely people will alienate themselves from you and also call you names. She told me everything about it. And I said, I just want to be smarter, okay, than the average person. She said, so keep it up. And I said, I don't want to be like everybody else, okay? So my teacher from kindergarten, I remember the song that "Reach Up to the Stars." That one song, "Reach Up, Up." We had to pick, "Reach Up to the Stars." He would put some stars in the classroom. Yes, and she was white. Yeah, and of course, I really appreciated that teacher, which pushed me. And that's all it took. That's all it took when she complimented me by saying, "You want to learn bigger words than the rest of the class." And so I started getting into bigger words, understanding sentence structures, though my memory wasn't very well and very good. She said to be astute is the way you articulate your words. To be simple as possible can be effective, very effective. You don't need to use the bigger words. You can use other things in place of it. So I try to pick and choose my words carefully or what I can remember. Because my memory was not all that good after, I think, the fourth grade or fifth grade when the voices started attacking me. So, it was protecting me. I say the voice protected me when my schizoaffective came in when I was like 7 years old before I chopped my stepdad's head off, and it stopped me. It stopped me before I did it. Okay, but you already know. If you want to find it somewhere and tell you what schizophrenic is and how I became about it, look for it. But reading is fundamental. But as I spent countless hours, like Thomas Sowell and Larry Elder, reading and stuff, I started understanding that all of the other niggas around me didn't like that shit. And sometimes those niggas would come to me and ask me for the cheat codes. They wanted me cheat codes, me reading the palms and doing all this and doing all that. And I was just a horny little boy at the time, and I was trying to get girlfriends, and I was successful at it. And I had an accident one day, and I messed up my teeth. My teeth got messed up, but I still was pulling women because I learned how to talk to women during those times. But if you read, you tend to know poetry. Poetry sticks in your mind. And I used to have this girlfriend and write her pages of poetry. She was so fascinated how much stuff I could write because I was reading so much. Though I can't remember all of the books that I have read in my life, I remember countless stories. Okay, I remember a lot of philosophies and Heraclitus. I used to love Greek mythology. I loved it. Okay, Socrates, Heraclitus, even on the Hindu side with the Indian side with Mahatma Gandhi and philosophies. I was into all of that type of stuff. But the sad thing is that everybody around me wasn't down with that shit. Everybody was down with being loud, being pretty, being a beta alpha and shit. Nobody was really focused. And I wish they brought back those days when discipline was in coming to play because it was fucking annoying for me. As a matter of fact, one of my teachers I remember in elementary school told me I should be in special classes, but that never came into fruition. My mom was not really involved in my life. We had a separation between me and because my intellectual proudness she did not recognize. And I think there was an argument about something. But I really didn't like school too much because at one time I was being bullied on, yes. But I learned how to deal with my enemies, okay, professionally and psychologically. And so my life was pretty interesting when I was younger. And I always knew that reading is the basis of being free, truly fucking free. Okay, I learned how to do my taxes on my own. Now people pay me to do their taxes, okay? And so the more you read, the more you become to learn new words and new beginnings and stuff. And I would try to tell people to read some more books. At a very young age, I also learned that by my mom being religious, she was kind of illiterate in a way. And everybody else around me was pretty much, from my perspective, illiterate because I would ask questions. And when you read something, you have to understand this concept of comprehension. And comprehension usually leads to more introspective questioning, which caused me to get in a lot of trouble, as you should already know. Okay, you ask questions and get popped for a question. You don't. That's not supposed to happen to an intellectual child such as myself. I'm an indigo child. I'm a schizoaffective. Okay, at the age of 7, and then I became very aware of psychology later on in my life, like in my 20s, and I had to get a checkup. Okay, and then I was blessed because I went through some situations. But that's what I want to say about reading is fundamental. It's very important during those days that people read a lot.
And even these days, we got the internet. The internet is not reading; it's actually watching. Because I'm more of a person who can read and also watch things and do it. I'd rather just do things and not understand it better. But I believe that it's a doing things for me first, then it's a watching, and then it's for verbatim. I have to keep recycling over and over because my memory is not super fucking sharp. I don't know how to dance, and I can be pretty much very stern. Okay, and what is this? Okay, no, that's my daughter calling. And of course, that's all I really wanted to say. I think everyone should always read some books and get into a lot of philosophies, understand logistics, okay, semantics, common sense, like Mark Twain, John Doe, the older elders from the past. They have a lot of knowledge everywhere you go, but lots of people are not interested in it. And that's sad, okay? But other than that, that's all I really wanted to say about reading is fundamental. I learned how to read at a young age, and I became more smarter than everybody around me. It's kind of crazy. I very rarely I meet people who can read my, balance me out and be my equal. Okay, it's very rare because I'm not liberal, not one bit. Okay, I've been called a moderate, but I consider myself more conservative, though. But other than that, that's all I really wanted to say, brothers and sisters of light and dark. And you have a nice day. Okay, peace.